We have some breaking news for you. It looks like Toyota might be planning on bringing back the Tacoma production from Mexico back to the United States due to political pressure, changes with the United States Mexico Canada agreement. You name it, they're talking about it. They filed a $2 billion plan with the Bexar counties register about this new expansion for a new line at the San Antonio plant. This is crazy news. I about fell on my chair when I saw it. So I have the story for you on pickuptrucktalk.com. I'm going to pull it up for you guys. We can go over it. And what else is going on today? Fans of the channel know today's Friday. It's Truck News Recap Day. I do this show. I recap the news item there. Other stuff going on. We have a DOJ demands. We have just a ton of stuff going on this week. But I'm going to get this breaking news story and then I get shout out to my sponsor. We'll talk about what's happening on YouTube. Wow. This is just wow news. Yeah. Because he just built the $2 billion plant in Mexico a couple years ago to build this Tacoma. This is the new generation Tacoma. They built that in Mexico. We did all production down there. They have been building Tacomas down there in Baja, Mexico, but now they build it all in this G-Town plant, and they just made a filing to expand production. So here's a story for you. It's a new filing tied to a massive $2 billion expansion at Toyota's Texas manufacturing complex. It was a Bloomberg report. That's where I saw it. So it's an official news item. It was at the San Antonio facility. You have you have production from Mexico. There's ongoing tariffs, you supply chain concerns, you have political pressure, you have the USMCA trade agreement coming up, which I talked about. That allows them to have trade back and forth between Mexico and the United States. That's tariff-free, but that's always been up in the question mark what's going on there, if that's going to keep going or not. There's a lot of certainty about its future. This is the San Antonio plant. It's the old ranch. They put it on there. If you know the Toyota Tundra 1794, that's the year the ranch was incorporated. There is room at that facility. I've been to that facility a couple different times. There is room for expansion on that plant. So they filed the proposed $2 billion expansion with the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts on Friday, May 15th of 2026. The expansion could reportedly create around 2,000 new jobs and significantly increase production capacity at the facility. So a $2 billion investment, that means adding another line. Well, I don't see them creating more Tundras, which they may. I don't see them creating more Sequoias. Right now that plant builds Tundra and Sequoia only. It had built Tundra and Tacoma. And if you remember historically, it was always a game between how many Tacomas and how many Tundras they built. That kind of factored as far as the sales numbers for that quarter. And then they moved Tacoma production down there. When Tacoma sales soared, if you remember all my sales reports for the last couple, I don't know, done this stuff for years. Last year, Toyota sold 274,000 Tacoma trucks. That was up 42.4% year over year. That truck is selling like crazy. So I can't see them moving all Tacoma production back because that's a lot of trucks to build at one facility. The San Antonio plant has production capacity of it was told to maybe 100,000 trucks. I think they've got upwards to 170,000 working Saturdays, swing shifts, that kind of stuff. So it'd be a lot to bring all those trucks back to San Antonio. They probably could move some back with this expansion, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. $2 billion is a lot of money to spend on just expanding Tacoma production there if they don't build all these trucks back over there. So it's going to be a game of numbers, but that's a lot of money to spend. 2,000 new jobs. That's a lot of investment there in San Antonio. So where's it built today? We talked about this. It's built in Guanajuato, I guess maybe the best I can say it, and Baja, California. It got shifted out several years ago when this new truck came out. This is the 2024 model, I believe it is. You guys will correct me in comments or let me know what gen it is. And then it went back and forth. But again, we have had the discussion points last couple of years now about build in the United States. We've had discussions over tariffs. We've had domestic manufacturing debates over that. And now there's growing uncertainty. That's what people are, and the quotes from the Bloomberg story talked about what's happening with this. It is interesting. Now, it has moved before. It was built in NUMMI, which is the plant in California. It was a joint venture with General Motors. NUMMI closed 2010. They moved production to San Antonio in 2010. And then it moved down to Mexico. And the Baja plant to build more production of it. And so it moved back and forth. And so, clearly, why does this matter? Well, built in the United States is a big deal for a lot of truck buyers. It really is. And you have supply chains are easier to manage if everything's here in the United States. Toyota at the San Antonio plant actually has suppliers on site. It's one of the unique things they do versus other brands is Toyota invests in its suppliers and they bring those suppliers on site. And so it's easier for them to manage supply chain problems. Another reason why Toyota quality is usually a little bit higher than other brands is those suppliers right there on site working with them. And so you have that going there. You reduce transportation costs. You're not shipping things across the border, and you can improve inventory, right? So inventory is more stable. So everything's right there in one facility. So there's a lot of positives for this. Now, Toyota has not commented because they won't say anything publicly because they're not disclosing any future plans. It's the way automakers are. But we know we have a $2 billion plan. We have the plan says they're going to create 2,000 new jobs. They're going to expand the plant. Well, let's put the pieces together here, guys. What are they going to do? Are they going to build more Tundras? I don't see it because when you look at the last year's sales results, especially for Tundra, the truck they're selling the most of is going to be the Tacoma. The Tundra sales were 147,000, so they're down 7.5%. And that's kind of max capacity. So I guess I'm trying to say, I should say differently, the San Antonio plant can build about 200,000. So you have 147,000 of Tundra. You have maybe 60,000 Sequoia. So there's your 200,000, right? That's the plant capacity. So they really, I don't see them building that many more Tundras, especially when the sales are down, especially with the issues happening at third gen Tundra. We have the recalls, we have the engine questions, we have things going on that truck. The Tacoma is obviously the big winner here. Tacoma sales are still hot. The midsize truck market is the fastest growing truck market in the segment of trucks. It's growing like it continues to grow. I see that being the thing. I think Tacoma's production is moving. The speculation on the Bloomberg article was Tacoma production moving. I think we're all on the same page on that. So big news there. That's the big item. Shout out to my sponsors, ScreenProTech.com. Use code ScreenProTech.com/Tim. You get 15% off your install. I think it is. No, 10% off. Excuse me. Yeah, 10% off your install of the screens. And you'll put that code in there, get 10% off. These screen protectors go on there. Nice covering for the screens, for your dashes. It actually covers up some scratches, so you don't actually see those scratches anymore. It covers up for fingerprints, covers up for different things. Really nice coverings. Use them on all my trucks. Great company, really good people. Check them out, ScreenProTech.com. All right. Whew, that was really big news. What else going on? This is crazy news. So the Department of Justice actually is now demanding data on 100,000 users of EasyLink diesel truck tuner app. So this is mind-blowing to me. Do you remember when the Department of Justice came out and said, hey, we're not going to do any more criminal investigations of diesel truck tuners? We're done with that. We're going to freedom of America. We're not going to do any of this stuff anymore. Well, they just went to court and demanded data from Google, from Apple, from Walmart, and Amazon. So this is part of an ongoing criminal lawsuit with EasyLink. EasyLink is a app. It's an app and a piece of hardware. You plug it in your OBD2 port. You use the software. You can tune your truck. They have a fleet management business as well. And they have been accused by the Department of Justice as having an emissions defeat part of their business. So to get around some of the emissions for diesels. They were started back in 2012, 2014, I think it was 2014. And they've been accused of cheating. So what the Department of Justice has asked for is 100,000 user data so they can ask these users how they're using the app. And they can investigate how they're using it and have these users be part of the criminal trial as witnesses. And EasyLink's like, no, we're not going to share that stuff. Google and Apple haven't replied back to the subpoenas. Neither has Walmart or Amazon because they said, okay, we're going to get the data about who bought the hardware from Walmart, Amazon. So this is a very interesting case. And again, it's crazy to me that the Department of Justice said we're not going to go after people with criminal stuff when Bondi was the Attorney General. Now we have the new Attorney General, and they just filed this in federal court. So interesting stuff here. They're going after a diesel tuner is what they're doing. I have the whole story. They went after them in 2021. I have the whole breakdown of allegations, legal tug of war. They went to a Section 230 Communication Decency Act. What's going on there? This is just it's fascinating story. So I may do a separate video on this because it gets kind of detailed in the weeds, but it really comes down to software because that's the new frontier with diesel emissions. When you delete it, yeah, you can do the hardware. People can unbolt this stuff, but then you get check engine lights. Maybe the truck doesn't work right because it goes in the limp mode. You really got to crack the computer to get the software to fixed. And to do that, you need a tuner or you need somebody to be able to do it. And that's part of the problem moving forward. And also, if you didn't know this, the EPA's 2027 through 2032 multi-pollutant emission standards, part of that section says, require manufacturers to improve monitoring capabilities and expand detection of emission systems failures, tampering. So they're going to improve monitoring capabilities and expand detection of emission systems failures and tampering. These rules are meant to make diesel delete tuning and aftermarket modifications significantly more difficult on future trucks. So the EPA's rules that most likely will be upheld with the Trump EPA. We're waiting for some information from those guys. Should be sometime this next month, or should have been last month. Will most likely be upheld. They're trying to crack down on people breaking into the computers for diesel trucks to stop that from happening. So it's really interesting. It's like the EPA and the Department of Justice say one thing, and they do the other. So again, I'm following the story really closely because I want to get the information out to you guys so you guys have the most accurate information. We have this mammoth apocalypse rear axle or apocalypse ready XLE camper. This thing's $123,000. It is just insane. Yeah, you can survive the end of the world with this thing. So if you're into this, if you're into really bizarre equipment, this thing's something you should check it out. We have all sorts of different news going on. We have the Ram recall. If you guys check that news out, they actually made the truck drive faster than the tires could withstand. We had the Toyota dealers running low on oil. I talked about kill switches yet again because I get asked about this stuff all the time, and they're not in vehicles, but people believe they are. We have some bring a trailer stuff going on, a really cool Chevy truck. We have the Ford CEO talking about gas prices are high, yet truck buyers still want V8s because of reliability. Still an issue. We have the Ford Carhartt. We have the Toyota Land Cruiser diesel. Just lots of good news going on, and we have other stuff going on. And then on the YouTube channel, man, if you guys are not following along, it's more exciting stuff going on over there. I did the Lightner rack on my F-150. We did we talked about the gas prices of the Corolla Cross Hybrid, which most people don't know about, but it's actually selling really well right now because RAV4s are hard to find. And people are like, hey, wait a minute. This is actually what a RAV4 used to be. It's actually really inexpensive, and it's a pretty good little Toyota SUV. So if you're looking for something that's cheap and good fuel economy and pretty reliable, that might be the ticket for you. And then we have several short form content, lots of stuff as far as GM pushing out trucks. I have some member stuff going on. Members have asked me to put stuff for them first. Some people get all buttered about member stuff. Sorry for that. It's just how YouTube works. We have the Tundra engines exploding, running low on oil, Ford cracking down on suppliers, trying to demand better quality and lower prices, which those two things usually don't go together, which I find really fascinating. So, man, just lots of good stuff this week for you guys to check out. Lots of great content going on. And we're going to do something starting in June. I was going to start it this month. I'm just buried with stuff. Starting in June, we're going to do a Screen Protect, the Screen Tech kits I was talking about, which if you're listening to the podcast, sorry, I have one of these. It's a boutique look kit, and it comes with like a nice towel, a nice applicator. We're going to do something. Screen Protect is talking about this. We're going to give away. We're going to do a giveaway starting in June. I'm going to give away one of these a week. I think I have 8 or 10 giveaway items. So if you follow along, starting in June, on Fridays, tune in these Truck News recap shows, and you will be able to I'm going to create some sort of system. We'll have a code or something. You got a code word or something like that. And you'll be entered in and get entered into the raffle and be able to win your own Screen Protect cover for your truck and test them out. Because, again, I'm a big fan of them. And maybe you will be too after you get one for free. How's that going to work? This sounds pretty cool. So, hey, I hope you enjoyed this week's Truck News recap. Again, I was pretty fired up. Again, fell out my chair. I'm like, that's huge news. Bring jobs back to the United States, which is cool. And Tacoma come back to the United States, which I think was great for all consumers. And that's a big win because I hope the price goes down too, because Tacoma trucks have gotten too expensive. That'd be great if the price can come down for consumers. That'd be fantastic, really. Big, 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 big news. All right. Namaste. Taking a breath. All right. For more and all those stories and stuff, pickuptrucktalk.com. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok. We're on all the places you want to find us. The podcast as well. MSN. If you're on MSN, you're seeing us MSN. We're over there as well. Yeah, all those places. So check out the videos up over here. Website down below as well. Pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.